Good morning. This might be my last video for a couple of days because I'm having some dentist work today. So I don't know if I'm going to be filming for the next few days. But do you know what is more fun than pulling teeth? Selling EVs, but only just. I've made this video really simple for even the most simple of evangelists to understand. I've called it "You Will Laugh Your Butt Off at This EV Depreciation." So I'm going to look at two real world scenarios for two real world people who actually went and bought a diesel Volkswagen van and an electric Volkswagen van. Here is AI's interpretation of this video. Here is me with my dirty diesel, and we're going to have the Mac Master for this scenario with his beautiful clean vehicle that runs purely on the hopes and dreams and farts of other evangelists, or whatever it is that they actually run on. So we're going to take these scenarios. Right, let's take a look. We're looking at this, which is the Volkswagen ABT e-Transporter. This is a 2019 model, I think. No, it's 2021. Sorry, get it right, Geoff. 8,000 miles, and this went through an auction recently, and it's a pretty basic example of one of these because they go through auction and you'll see what they make. And then we're going to compare that with a diesel version, which is pretty much this. This is the list price on a panel van. So basically, you're looking at one of these, a diesel 2-litre TDI, standard panel van, bread and butter of the traders world, really. So we're going to compare the two. So we're going to compare the EV and the diesel and see who would have been better off after 4 years. Would it be the Mac Master with his EV, or would it be Geoff with a diesel? So let's kick off here. Mac bought an EV van in 2021, and I bought a diesel van in 2021. Obviously, I didn't because I bought a Volvo and he bought a Porsche, but just humour me if you can. The price when new for my diesel van in 2021 was £32,997, and Mac's EV was £55,717. And those of you with half a brain are already running ahead with where you think these figures might end up. And knock yourselves out. Yeah, do run ahead because that's where we're going. We keep it for 4 years. We both keep the vehicles for 4 years, and we both sell in 2025. Now, my van, I've used it quite a lot. I've been running up and down the country. I've been selling things at the back of it, fake Rolexes probably. What do you do with vans? You use them for delivering stuff. I know. I've been doing deliveries for Amazon, driving around. No, that wouldn't work because the van would be absolutely trashed. And no, let's not talk about that. I don't know what we use the vans for, but I did 28,000 miles in mine. And Lee, he only managed 8,000 in his. I guess he couldn't find the charging port, or he was spending too long at service stations, eating coffee, eating cake, and he just couldn't manage to do the miles. So let's take a look at the values today. Well, after 28,000 miles, my diesel van, as you can see from here, Auto Trader, there's loads of them online, so you can go look for yourself. 23,000 miles on this one, 24 grand plus the VAT. So my van at the end of 4 years is worth £28,788. But the Mac Master, well, he has got some problems. His 8,000 mile van that he spent £20,000 more than me on is today worth £8,100. So my depreciation, I've lost £4,209 across 4 years, which is £1,000 a year. That needs a pound sign in there, doesn't it? I know that's going to annoy you if I don't put that in. So there we go. That's fair. So I've lost £4,000 in 4 years, £1,000 a year, £87 a month, £2.88 a day. Big Mac, on the other hand, well, he's lost £47,617 in 4 years, which is £11,900 a year, which is £992 a month, or £32 a day. So if you're going to summarise that completely, then I lost £4,029, and I did 3 times the miles. And Big Mac, well, he lost 47,617 pounds, but he only did 8,000 miles, right? This is I'm not making this up. These are genuine vehicles. I'm actually using this one and this one, both of which, well, this one's an auto trader, this one went through an auction, but these genuinely are selling for as cheap as that. Nobody wants them, which is strange because I really thought we were moving towards, net zero and all that jazz. So that is a really interesting comparison of two similar vehicles. Now, I'm sure there's other vehicles that we could do as well. We could have a look at, and maybe I will actually. Maybe when I'm moaning about the fact that I'm, sulking because I've just had a tooth extracted, what I might do is sit and do the numbers on something like a BMW. What were the ones that they forced everybody into for company cars? Let's do a diesel and then the 330e that everybody had, and we'll just see if the numbers come out the same. So that's 8,000 miles versus 28,000 miles. And then you might say, oh, Geoff, but what about the running costs? What about the running costs? Well, yeah, what about the running costs? I've got that here somewhere. I think I need to bring it to the front, though, so hang on a minute. What we'll do is we'll put that back up to the top there, and then if we put our image in the background, there we go, we can have a look at our nice dirty diesel and the clean air running on fresh air Volkswagen. So what about the fuel costs? 29,000 miles at today's diesel price is £4,816. The road tax will be £345 a month actually, so call that £1,380 for 4 years. So the fuel and the road tax costs £6,296, and if you run that through the same system, don't forget, what were my losses? Let's bring them back up to the top. They are here. Hang on, dragging those up. There. So, I lost £4,029. So if you add the 6,296, that's £10,000. So even with the running costs, I am only losing £10,000. But even before he's charged it, McMaster is losing £47,000. Now, I might not be the most intelligent spoon in the toolbox, but I know that £10,000 over 4 years is better than £47,000 over 4 years. So all the people that have bought these Volkswagen electric transporters have absolutely had their butts handed to them when it's come to trading them in. So for fleets and businesses that were persuaded to buy electric vans, where do you think the money comes from for all of this depreciation? Well, the answer has to be it's added onto their products. It's the customers that pay the price. And then we wonder why the economy seems to be collapsing, because this is happening across the board. This is the reality of electric vehicle depreciation. Granted, this is an extreme one, but if fleets and companies have been buying these EVs because the government has been incentivizing them to do so, when it comes time for them to dispose of them, if they're getting their butt handed to them financially, that bottom line, even I didn't think of that one, that was a good one. The bottom line is, this is going to end up impacting the cost that we actually pay for goods and services. It's going to end up impacting how much money it costs fleets to run their vehicles. So if you've got tradesmen that are running around in Tesla spending a fortune on public charging, then it's going to mean that the cost of your products is going to go up. The whole net zero thing is a myth. It's a misnomer, and basically all it's going to seek to do is impoverish and enslave us. But apparently that's a conspiracy theory. However, I was sent a brilliant video last night by Richard from Wizard Sports and Classics, who is classic car dealer, sells some very interesting stuff up in Cheshire, and he sent me a great video of Geoff Banks, the designer, talking about the fact that this has all gone too far, and now maybe we are starting to see that this myth, this magical unicorn of net zero was never quite what it was meant to be, and maybe we can catch things before they're too late. But that's it for today's video. Hopefully we'll be back to videos about vans, not wans, by later in the week. Thanks for watching.